What's up, beautiful besties? Welcome into the Divine Feminist by Turning Tides Tarot, where we read empowering messages for the Divine Feminine, messages that are all about you, for you. Hopefully these messages are here to help you along your own path and spiritual journey towards your highest good. We're going to go ahead and pick from the channel titles to see what Spirit wants us to read on today. Let's see. Here we go. They can't come where you're going, and that's the point. Ooh, I like this one. All right, so I'm just going to clean this up, friends. If you're new to the channel and you like my vibe and the messages that are coming through here, go ahead and take this moment to like and subscribe to the messages, and I'll be right back after I clean up this mess. Okay, here we are. We're back. You know, some people are only meant to be in our lives or be part of our journey up until a certain point, and that's totally okay. Spirit is not just, closing the doors. Spirit is locking them for a reason. This is your elevation era, right? So not everyone gets a front row seat. Are you guys ready? Are you gals ready? Are you awakening wonders, divine feminists ready to find out why they're not invited and where you're going? Let's see. Okay, what part of you is ready to rise into a new chapter, even if others can't follow? Oh, you know what? I just noticed my camera's a little crooked. Sorry, folks. Okay, here we go. What part of you is ready to rise into a new chapter, even if others cannot follow? What part of you? Ooh, look at this. Talk about ready to rise into a new chapter. 5 of Cups energy. And here's the Page of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So this tells me, Spirit doesn't want you to be sad anymore. Spirit, I feel like you've already done enough grieving, right? Enough grieving on, it's an important part of the process when we're letting go of people, situations that are just, they can't come with us, right? It's a huge awakening moment. It reminds me of the Judgment energy in the tarot where you kind of see things super clearly, right? And unfortunately, letting go, going through this process of letting go, we do have to grieve the future or the plans or the ideas that we once held very close, near and dear to our hearts, right? Of what our future would look like with certain people in our lives, okay? So we grieve it. This is what Spirit's saying, like, you're ready to rise into this new chapter, and you've already done the grieving over the loss of maybe this one person or a certain situation, okay? And so now it's like with the Page of Pentacles and the 3 of Pentacles, you're back to the drawing board, and it feels maybe a little bit like you're starting over, but it's not a bad thing. There's something that I'm seeing here that you've been already taking steps in the right direction. You're starting to implement new plans, new ideas, new thoughts, new dreams for the future from this point forward without this particular person or situation that, again, you once thought was going to be the end game for you. So you're going back to the drawing board. And that's okay. So that part of you, you are ready to release the sadness, the grief, and the loss over, a dream that isn't going to come into fruition. Okay, I'm just going to put it that way. So who or what are you being asked to lovingly release? And why is it actually a blessing? Let's just see a little bit of the detail, because we know that there's already been a process of grief here that you've gone through with that 5 of Cups. But again, yeah, here's the Devil. Okay, that's very clear. And y'all saw that pop right up, right? So what you're being asked, who you're being asked to release, for some of you, it could simply be a Capricorn, but it doesn't have to resonate for that way. The Devil is all about doing things that aren't good for us, and we know it, right? So a lot of the times the Devil can represent as a person. It represents somebody who refuses to make changes, who refuses to grow, who is consistently doing the same things over and over and over again, and it's not getting them anywhere. This is somebody who doesn't want to change, doesn't want to evolve, doesn't want to grow, and they often can suffer through things with, the person or the situation, right? It could resonate as a person or a situation that you are letting go of. and that can't come with you on this new part of your journey, but it is like it can be addictions, right? And those can range from substances to food to like activities, video games. I mean, you can even be addicted to the gym. Like it's something that you know you're doing a little bit too much too often. Okay, so it's becoming a bad habit. Overthinking, self-doubt. I mean, this really covers a lot. Any kind of codependent relationships or trauma bonds with the devil, because it's major arcana. There's a lot that is encompassed by this one energy that was popping up, right? So, who or what are you being asked to lovingly release? It could be a whole series of things, good choices that you are now making for yourself after a long period of reviewing, is this good for me? Is this not? Maybe it's been a pattern in your world, dealing with maybe a certain person or continuous, even overgiving with the devil. Like, that's not good for you. So this is what needs to be let go of in a very lovingly, you're releasing it very lovingly, okay, with love. All right, and why is this actually a blessing? Why is this actually a blessing? Well, I'll tell you. You're only going to go round and round in circles, okay? Round and round the wheel of karma with the devil energy. You are finally, if you were frustrated, feeling like, why am I always getting the same things? Or why am I always, kind of trying, I feel like I'm learning the same lesson on repeat or something like that, or you're dealing with the same types of people in your life, whether it be friendships, family members, co-workers, partners, however it shows up here, you have finally kind of figured it out, right? You've kind of finally figured it out and you're like, oh, this is what I got to do. I got to walk away. I've got to, I've got to make a change here. I got to stop engaging or indulging with these people, interacting with these people and these situations in my life and change these habits. Otherwise, I'm not going to actually go anywhere. I'm just going to keep repeating the same things over and over again. So it's a major realization, okay? And that is a blessing. But let's see what comes up. We have the Page of Cups and the Two of Cups. Look. See, that's really beautiful. The Queen of Cups underneath the deck here. When we're letting go of the person, perhaps, or the situation that is just simply toxic, okay? And we are gaining the strength. We are giving ourselves the compassion to completely, first off, grieve, but second, let it go. That person can't come along with us anymore, or those people, or whatever, however this resonates. You are opening up space. You are opening up space because you are honoring yourself in this act of letting go the things that aren't good for you. You're really truly opening up space for more new blessings to come in that are actually a vibrational match to where you are, okay? Now, where you are with the Queen of Cups here, regardless of your zodiac sign, but of course I will say that the Queen of Cups represents Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but Cups energy is emotional energy. The Queen of Cups wears her heart on her sleeve. She's very intuitive, very empathic, very loving, very nurturing, very kind, very understanding. It's a soft energy, right? It's a soft energy. When you're dealing with people who are toxic, you tend to protect this part of yourself because you could be easily taken advantage of or taken for granted, and it hurts. It hurts a lot, but we've done the grieving. That person can't come through anyways, along with you on this new path of yours. Now, with the Queen of Cups, the Two of Cups, Page of Cups, you are opening yourself up to a beautiful blessing of people, and I mean people in general, not just romantic partners, friendships. Okay, friendships too. You're opening yourself up to people who meet you where you are, people who are a good match for you, people who bring in love, caring, kindness. They reciprocate the energy. You're opening, these people are blessings you're opening up for, right? So you're really just, because your vibe has been really, you've been raising your vibration by doing the healing that's necessary and letting go of the things that aren't good for you. And, you have been steadily climbing, right? Steadily climbing on this glow up. So now the new people that enter your life, now that you've made space for these new people by letting the old ones go, these new people are coming in to match the vibration, match where you are, and they are going to be much more healthy, aligned, and overall beautiful relationships in your life. Okay. So I'm really here for that. I really am. Okay. So how is Spirit protecting you by removing certain people or energies from your path? And I feel like this is what it is. Spirit is also protecting you from these certain people, but how is it happening? How is Spirit protecting you? By removing these people from your path. You know, Spirit's locking the door. Spirit's saying, you shall not pass. You know, we have the Page of Wands. Okay. That's interesting. I just heard blocking communication. Now, this is really kind of funny what I'm picking up here. These people who are showing up in your life and represented by the devil, right? The people who can't come along with you on this new journey. They have been trying to reach out to you, believe it or not. Whether or not you've actually seen the message or heard any kind of communication or heard through the grapevine, these people are trying to find you. These people are trying to message you. And how is Spirit protecting you? Spirit is blocking their messages from coming through. So that might look like a glitch. That might look like, you know, I'm sure it's happened to many of you when you try to send a text and you realize that it didn't go through like a couple days later. It's like undeliverable, things like that. So little like technological glitches keep happening. Spirit is blocking them from communicating with you or reaching out to you. Or I'm also picking up, because the Page of Wands is all about, you know, communication. This person or these people are wanting to contact you, wanting to get a hold of you, wanting to, you know, get a little piece of your energy, and Spirit's shutting it down. Spirit is locking these doors and Spirit is putting up blocks. So let's say someone, I don't know why Spirit's showing me these little instances, but we have this. So let's say somebody's like, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to send a message, or I'm going to write a letter, I'm going to do whatever to you. And all of a sudden, you know, Spirit's like showing me like smoke on the stove, like something catching on fire. Like they're continuously distracted. Like, you know, they were having to put out fires. Okay, thank you, Spirit. That's what you're trying to tell me. They're consistently having to put out fires, and they're very distracted, so they don't actually end up sending you the message they want to. So there's things like that. Like Spirit is literally blocking these people from connecting with you. Now, if this was like and I know this to be true here, folks, because I've experienced it myself, when you have a connection that is very deep or very soulful, you know, we can tend to pick up on one another's energy, especially if you've been intimate with that person in the past. There is a cord that connects, right? And that's when, okay, side note, that's where cord cutting practices, whatever, I can't find the right word. Cord cutting practices could come into play there to sever some of those, you know, invisible lines of energy connection. But this is, Spirit is also blocking these people from coming into your energetic space, whether that be like telepathically or in dreams. You know, I keep seeing all of these locked doors. Okay, so this is how Spirit is protecting you from, you know, because what happens with the devil is we are tempted to engage with them, right? We're tempted to entertain them, or we're tempted to see what they want to say. But really what we need to be doing is completely locking the doors, double locking, putting on the chain lock, you know, all the locks on the door, and moving forward and not looking back. Okay. And it's a radical act of self-love, you know, but of course we can get tempted. So Spirit is stepping in and locking these doors and blocking these communications from coming through and reaching you, so that you're not even tempted. Okay. So you're not even tempted. I'm loving it. All right, now let's get into, I want to get into some of the good stuff. I want to know what's waiting for you on the other side of this elevation, on the other side of this locked door, because you're on one side, they're on the other. Like Spirit is not letting them through. They are not meant to come with you at this, and you know, they're not meant to come with you where you're going. Okay, so what is waiting for you on the other side? What is waiting for you on the other side? We already know that good, healthy, Loving connections are there because it's already shown up in this case with the Two of Cups. Soulmates, now soulmates come in all shapes and sizes, right? They don't always have to be romantic. They could be a pet, it could be a best friend, it could be a coworker, it could be a boss, it could be a mentor, family member, whatever it is. We have the Eight of Wands, the Emperor. Nice. Now, some of you, if you've been on a twin flame journey in the past, you resonate with being divine feminine. Some of you will see the Emperor right away and jump to divine masculine, right? But in our readings on this channel, that is not what it is. We hold masculine and feminine energy within us. And so what's waiting for you on the other side of this could very well be a high vibing masculine that you connect with, okay? That could be the thing. That could be the case, especially coming up with the Two of Cups. Now, I want you to understand as well that on the other side of this is your own personal power. Okay, this is your own personal power. This is you being the one in control, in charge of your life, not allowing anyone or anything to dictate what it is that you're doing. Like, you might even become some kind of boss. This is boss up energy, glow up vibes for you. And even if you're running your own business, starting your own business, or doing anything like a new project or goal, something like that, this is fast movement. This is you accomplishing that goal very quickly and being on top of your game. Okay, this is you being that boss. Okay, you being the boss, right? Not taking orders from anyone. You're the one that sets the new rules. You're the one that sets the boundaries. You're the one that decides. You are really commanding your power and your energy, deciding who gets to come with you, who doesn't. Now, of course, Spirit is having a hand in this because certain people aren't allowed to. When you hit the other side of this, here's one of the things too, Spirit's protecting you from, that's coming in pretty hot, is that Spirit knows that these kinds of people in the devil energy are merely going to suck you dry energetically, financially. These are people who are going to take advantage of you, your energy, your kindness, whatever you have to give, which maybe you've given this person in the past, you're not doing that anymore. I know. And Spirit's blocking them from entering because they are opportunist, right? They're opportunist type of individuals. Now, you're entering into your boss era, your successful era, I've got everything I need and more era. I'm the one with the power. I'm the one with the control. I'm the one that's on top of my game. You know what I mean? So as you quickly move towards accomplishing what you set out to do, you will become very successful. And Spirit does not want any leeches, okay? Any leeches, just kind of hitching their cart to your wagon, because you are going places, right? And you don't need any of this low vibing energy or people in your life who are just literally going to bleed you dry. So Spirit is like, these people over here are not going to benefit from your healing, from your hard work, from your time, energy, effort, all of the things that you've poured into your own journey. If they want to access this kind of energy, they have the ability to do so, but they've got to put in the work. They've got to stop showing up in this toxic way. They've got to go through on their own path and journey to get there. This is your reward. Okay. And that's really what's waiting for you on the other side. Our last reading was all about, it's time to go. Spirit really is wanting you to kind of snap out of it and realize your own power, worth, value, what you have. You are so incredibly powerful here. So that is what's waiting for you on the other side of this, locked door. Once you, you're already doing it. They can't come where you're going. That's the point, because they would just literally leech off of your time, your energy, your resources. You wouldn't be able to truly focus on what it is that you need to do if you're consistently dealing with someone or people and situations that are trying to literally drag you, this is drag you to hell kind of energy, right? Keep you in a lower vibration, right? Don't get discouraged. Remember that there are people waiting for you, these blessings in relationships waiting for you on the other side of this as well, okay? People who match your energy, people who appreciate you, who value you, and who are going to be very beautiful, loving, and committed relationships. Again, not just romantic here. Not just romantic, okay? So, oops, hold on. I just dropped something. Let me get it. Okay, so this is funny because I picked up this pile. This fell on the floor, right? And the question that I was going to say, or going to ask next was, what outdated version of you are they still clinging to, but you're done investing in it? And the four of Pentacles was literally sitting on my floor like this, and I'm like, oh, that's funny because this is somebody who clings on and doesn't like change, who really just like cannot let go, right? So it's hilarious. So what outdated version of you are they still clinging to so desperately, but you are done showing up in that way? Well, I'll show you. We have the Page of Swords and the Three of Cups. I feel like in the past, this person really relied on I feel like you may have been like a cheerleader for this individual or these people. You would have always been very encouraging or very positive or very optimistic, very happy, or, saying things like, oh, you can do it. You may have been this person's cheerleader, okay, or always offering some kind of wisdom or helping them see things clearly, helping them, look at the glass half full, that kind of a thing. They really did depend on you pouring your emotional energy into them, okay? And they may not have expressed how much they appreciated that, okay? But they definitely miss it. And you are no longer doing that for them. You no longer are pouring your energy and effort into this person trying to get somebody to change who's not going to do the work, right? So it's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your energy. And you cannot fix someone else. They have to do it. So I do feel like this person leaned on you quite a bit as far as somebody to always be kind of there for them, to pick up the pieces, to encourage them, to again, it's bringing me back to that age-old saying, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So, I mean, you got other things to do than continuously go around circles with these people. I mean, you've given them everything that you can, and they're not making any changes. So it's time for you to move on. You're not wasting your time and energy being someone's cheerleader who isn't going to help themselves, okay? Who isn't going to do the work to help themselves. So that's great. That's good for you, bad for them. What truth are you finally owning that makes you unavailable to the old patterns? What truth are you finally owning? And it's making you unavailable to the old patterns, the old people. Look at that, the Tower. The Tower. What truth are you owning? Let me clarify the Tower, because the Tower is something that it kind of hit you suddenly. It could have been like one day you woke up and were just like, whoa. Okay, hold on. The High Priestess. Whoa. Wow. The High Priestess. You are finally owning. Wow, the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, I am here for this answer. I love it. You all are incredible humans. I have to say that because you're finally really stepping into your own power, your own spiritual power, your own abilities, your own gifts. You're leaning into your intuition. It's like you are right, okay? And it's like, I feel like you have this ability. Maybe you've just always kind of been able to tell what's going to happen next, or maybe you've just been born into this world with some, information, a little bit about the mysteries of life. You're pretty spiritual. You just, maybe, I don't know if you denied it for some time or hid it. I mean, everybody has their own reasons why. I mean, I can relate to this because for a very long time, even as a tarot reader, it was quite scary coming out to, I was raised in a very Baptist. They weren't too, intensely religious, but yeah, church every Sunday, very Baptist, very looking at tarot and things like witchcraft, it's the work of the devil and all that. Coming out to my family as a full-blown tarot reader, and this is what I do now. And this is like my business and all the things. Like people come to me for readings. This is who I am. Coming out like from the spiritual closet was a really big deal. I was actually met with a lot of love, and after conversations, a lot of understanding. And to be honest, I grew up going to church every Sunday with my grandma, and I ended up giving her a tarot reading. And now she's in her 80s, right? Late 80s. And she's like, when anyone ever, now that she's had a tarot reading, she knows what it's all about. And whenever anyone throws shade on a tarot reading or whatever, she's the first one to stand up and defend me. So I'm loving it. She's like, no, it's actually God's word. Like, so she's really expanded her mind, and it's a beautiful thing. So I'm only just sharing that with you because it's not it's not a bad thing. You are embodying this truth of who you are, your spiritual purpose, right? Like whether or not it's well received or not, you're really fully leaning into your own gifts, what you have to share with the world, your own intuition, your own ability, your own spirituality. And what it is doing here, it's making you unavailable to people who, just can't vibe with it. Okay, fine. If you don't like what I do, then get out of my life. This is who I am. You're really just embodying who you truly are, your authenticity and your spiritual self. And what that is going to give to you is access to all of the good things that you've ever wanted in life. And I don't want to sound like I'm just, filling your tank with gas here, but the 10 of Pentacles is, you're really creating a legacy and leaning into this spiritual side of you and your own intuition and going by, what you know to be true, your own power. It's so beautiful to see this kind of a transformation. So you're taking control of your own purpose, your own mission, your own goals, your own, you don't need anyone else to get you there. And it's not that you don't rely on people for help. I mean, it always takes a village, it takes a community, whatever. And there are great people. There will be, if there aren't right now, because again, I don't know where exactly you fall. You can let me know in the comments of where you are in this process. But, the people who can't come along with you, they just can't vibe with you because you're over here vibing at such a higher level than them. And I'm not saying that to be condescending, because these folks could reach where you are as well if they put in the work, if they were to try. So it's just that you're not a match anymore, right? Maybe at one point you were. Right? But that person, these people were put into your life to kind of shake you up, wake you up, to get you on track. And now their purpose has been served. And Spirit's locking the door saying, okay, now you can't come where they're going. These people can't go where can't come along with you where you're going because it's like access denied. It's like you have a key card and you're going to the next level and they haven't graduated, or they haven't, you know what I mean? They don't have the clearance. They don't have the spiritual clearance, right? So this is great. I love seeing this for you. Congratulations. I'm really proud of you. Okay. So, and you should be proud of yourself. Okay. Don't take my word for any kind of validation. Be proud of yourself. So how can you step forward boldly? Even if it means walking alone for a little while. Okay, even if it means walking alone for a little while, because sometimes on a spiritual path, we will find ourselves walking alone, okay, going against the grain or doing things a little bit outside of the box, There's never a crowd. It's my favorite thing. I don't know who said it, but once I heard it, it is stuck with me my whole entire life, and I love it. There is never a crowd on the leading edge. Think about it. You are on the leading edge. Right? People will catch up to you. First, they might call you crazy, whatever, who cares? You got there first because you followed your intuition, right? And your intuition isn't going to steer you wrong. Okay. And I just, Anyway, how can you step forward boldly, even if it means walking alone for a little while? Because there's never a crowd on the leading edge, friends. There never is. All right. The world. Embrace, and temperance underneath the deck. Okay, so embrace the endings. Okay, embrace the endings. And it doesn't mean ignore any of the pain that comes along with it with temperance, because temperance is all about alchemizing that pain. the grief, the sorrow. It's never easy to cut people out or to walk away or know, these are people that you once really loved, or maybe you still really love these folks. Again, lovingly releasing them so that you can evolve, so that you can wrap up these cycles, so that you can grow and become more powerful on your own path journey, okay? Personal path journey. And with temperance here, we're going to take any kind of the pain and we're going to take that pain, we're going to take that sadness, we are going to channel it into our creations. You're transmuting the energy, okay? You really are becoming a very powerful spiritual, a very powerful light in this world. Perhaps even for some of you here, spiritual leaders, spiritual teachers, healers. This is for you. This is for you because this is what you are meant to do. And so the next chapter, the next story of your life with the world, because the world, we never stop growing, we never stop learning. The world, after the world, the fool comes back and the lessons reset, but on a higher level. So it's like a graduation, an evolution that happens here. We're always learning still. Okay. We're always growing if we're putting in the work, right? So this has really all been a moment that Spirit's been preparing you for, a story in your life that Spirit's been preparing you for, because this next story is all about you being like the crone. Does that make sense? You're getting into your crone era. So, we have the maiden mother crone, right? Maiden is young and carefree and silly, and then the mother is obviously the mother archetype, and then the crone is the wizened, older, feminine, right, energy, the one who can help teach and help guide. Okay, you are becoming that person. Okay, you are becoming that wisdom keeper of being in your crone era. Okay, so the patriarchy, let me just say, this is the Divine Feminist channel. I need to tell you that the patriarchy has really condemned the crone archetype. They have really put very negative connotations. And be honest with yourself, when you think crone, do you see like a wicked old witch covered in like warts living in a hut in the forest? I'd be fine with that for myself. But you know what I mean? They've put a really negative spin on the crone archetype, and actually it's such a beautiful and powerful matriarchy. You're the person, like, you're a leader. You're stepping into your leadership era is what's happening here. So this is why these people can't come with you. You're vibing too high. You're just vibing too high. The point is that they can't come with you, and that's it. That's the reading. I feel like that's it. I hope that this has made sense for you. Please let me know in the comments if you like these messages, if you like my live. Please subscribe. We are trying to grow this community. If you want to offer any kind of energy exchange, I would be ever so grateful. Now that can look like very different. Okay. Energy exchange can look like leaving a little comment or emojis. If you don't want to write anything, that's okay. Everything helps. Leaving, even just hitting the share button. And even if you don't actually share it, if you copy the link, and don't send it anywhere, the algorithm will think that you want to share this reading because it's so great with someone. It could also look like buying me a coffee if you feel like it. Those are little $5 coffees you can buy if you want to support the work that I do. I also offer a whole host of readings available, personal readings. Okay. And I do have my main channel still, Turning Tides Tarot, if you are still interested in finding out what's going on with a person on your mind, because that's where we focus over there. But yeah, there's lots of different ways, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being here with me, for helping to grow this movement. I feel like I want to call it a movement, the Divine Feminist movement, from the ground up. Okay, you all are really special to me, and this is my passion channel here. So very excited to be here with y'all on an almost daily basis. Okay. Anyways, I will see you in the next reading. Take care and have a blessed day.